Sequential recovery. In fact, on Monday, we will have not only Reliance, but a lot of the big banks which will be reacting to their earnings as well. So to that extent, it will be a very busy weekend from a nifty earnings standpoint. And because it's bank, it will be Gaurav who will be, perhaps in office tomorrow as well, looking at all these numbers. Gaurav, happy Dhanteras, it seems. But what is it that the street is expecting?
Well, let's talk about the big boy HDFC Bank. When we look at the numbers, we've already seen loan book growth at around 10% on a year-on-year basis. So in terms of numbers, now street is expecting 4% growth in net interest income and 2% growth in profit. And I'll tell you why they're expecting muted numbers. First is that there will be some kind of pressure on net interest margins. They're expecting 10 basis point of pressure on net interest margin this quarter because of the repo rate cut. At the same time, credit costs, on the other hand, they are likely to see credit cost normalization. We may see some decline in credit costs on a sequential basis, and that is the reason why, although net interest income that is likely to increase by 4%, but the profit that will increase just by 2% on a year-on-year basis. What we will be watching out is that the commentary on growth and net interest margins, and second is that the commentary on LDR ratio. Remember, in this quarter, the LDR ratio has gone up to around 98%, and they want to keep it between 85 to 90% in medium term. Second is ICICI Bank. When we look at this bank, we may see double-digit loan book growth trajectory to continue because street is expecting 10% loan book growth in this quarter as well on a year-on-year basis. But at the same time, when it comes to earnings, they're expecting net interest income to increase by 6% on a year-on-year basis, while profit that may increase just by 2% here as well. When we look at net interest margins, the fall may be a little bit higher than HDFC Bank, and the reason being that in the last quarter we saw 7 basis point of cushion because of one-off impact. So that is something which is missing in this quarter, and that is the reason why net interest margins may fall a bit harder, almost by 14 basis point. Credit costs, again, we are likely to see credit costs actually improving on a sequential basis. And lastly, what we will be watching out is that the commentary on the net interest margins going ahead and commentary on the growth here as well. Remember, these are the two big banks where street is expecting profit to increase on a sequential basis, on a YoY basis actually. Third, let's talk about IndusInd Bank. Now, we have already seen some kind of weakness in the pre-quarterly updates. Loan book growth and deposit both have declined on a YoY basis as well as sequentially. So in terms of numbers also, we are not expecting any kind of great set of numbers. When it comes to net interest income, we're expecting around 16% decline on a YoY basis. PPOP, which is pre-provisional operating profit, we may see 40% decline on a year-on-year basis in this number as well. Net interest margins, we may see a decline of around 14 basis point, and here as well we saw 11 basis point of cushion in the last quarter because of one-off impact. So we may see net interest margins falling more than 10 basis point. And lastly, when it comes to credit cost, now that may actually improve on a sequential basis but still remain elevated at 2%. Lastly, what we will be watching out is that the RBL Bank. Now, apart from numbers, the key thing to watch out is that tomorrow there is going to be a board meeting where they will consider, and if it is fit, they will approve the proposal of raising funds. Now, this will be raised via equity issue. And remember, just 2 days ago, we ran a story. Our exclusive sources told us that Emirates NBD is looking for 60% stake in the bank. So definitely, that is a key thing to watch out for. All in all, in terms of numbers, we may see some kind of muted numbers from the big banks. IndusInd Bank, we may see some weakness. And for RBL, along with the numbers, we will be also watching out on if any news comes on the story that we broke 2 days ago.
Thank you. That's a lot of numbers to contend with. Gaurav, thank you very much for simplifying it. Get into a break.